Good day, guys. It's prayer. I am doing a weekly forecast for this week, starting today. It's 1 a.m., 1:30 a.m. in the morning, South African time. I am recording a weekly forecast. I've not been around. I went home to see my woman, as I said, on our Thursday live stream. Um, so let's do this, guys. I don't have a good energy. It's 1 a.m. I don't have a good lighting. So pardon me, but we'll get into it and we'll do the fundamentals and just quickly do the spreadsheet that I have and look at the trade that I potentially want to have. Okay, let's start. I did say gold, please. Before I speak about gold, before I speak about gold, I did add a second position on gold at the 3,000 mark, at the 3,000 support. Remember, go watch the previous videos, or if you want to see potential trade that I take and just with friends and we discuss some financial market stocks and other financial markets, just jump on our Telegram and that's where you'll find us. The link is in the bio. However, but anyway, let's start. So last week we went on a breakout. I think that was the 12th on Wednesday. I was looking for this breakout to the upside because I mean, inflation was coming down. We're anticipating interest rate to be kept the same or to be bullish. Just watch the previous videos to get into that. Anyway, I'm not gonna get into that and rant about it. So immediately we saw a break above the 3,000 mark that was previous target. We broke above and held above it. On the retest, I did say that I have trailed my stop loss from this low here. Trade my stop loss from this area here to that area. So after we broke above here, I was looking for a retest to this area to push market to the upside. So, and that has happened. So I re-entered a position. I re-entered a position at that 3,000 support mark, and I'm looking for the market to break above, hold there, and to continue to the upside. Why am I still optimistic that this trade will still unfold? But remember, I only used half of the profit that I made from this move until to I trailed my stop loss. But anyway, the reason why I'm still optimistic that the trade will work out, uh, it's because of the fundamentals. They make sense. Inflation is lower. Interest rate are kept the same, which the Feds, if we were just please watch my previous week video where I was trading live the FOMC where he spoke about he's optimistic that they got inflation under control. Eventually they say they're looking about two interest rate decrease. So with interest rate decrease, that will be bullish for gold, and also the war in the world is not really stable, more especially Russia and is it Russia and the Middle East. But anyway, let me not go into geopolitics. With the break above, I'm looking to hold. If it breaks above hold, I'm looking to go to the upside. So if I were to look at the technicals, okay, if I were to look at the fundamentals, I am gonna start with my best friend here. Um, quickly look at this Excel sheet here. Okay, anyway, let's go to retail sales. Our retail sale, we saw a slowdown in retail sales, meaning the retail sales also it's part that indication of inflation as well. We saw a slowing down of the economy now, starting to see a bit of growth. Unemployment rate is stable. I'll call this unemployment rate stable at 4.1. CPI, it is coming down, which this is what the Feds wanted to see, a slower CPI. But a slower CPI is directly indication of, um, remember, the target for CPI is at 2%. So CPI coming closer to 2%, that will indicate that the Feds are likely to decrease interest rate. As in the FOMC, he did say that he will look into decreased interest rate. Maybe they're looking at about two interest rate cuts this year. So that will be bullish for the for that will be bullish for gold, given that it's an ex-AUDCAD and also uncertainty with Trump tariffs that pushes gold to the upside. So uncertainties with Trump's tariffs and also possible interest rate decreases that will move the market into risk on asset. And one of those things that will benefit is gold, even though gold is a safe haven, but there's so much uncertainties with Trump, and gold is about to benefit. With FOMC, if you watch FOMC, he spoke about he they are getting the inflation under control, but the struggles they can't differentiate between tariffs inflation and inflation that is caused by the market in general. But however, the tariffs are a bit delaying the inflation to be gotten under control. But he is optimistic, and his optimism, that's what saved the stock market. I am gonna go to Nasdaq. I'm gonna go to Nasdaq and just speak about quickly Nasdaq and S&P 500 because this is where I'm looking for the next possible trade. Though my fundamental spreadsheet that I've created that it looks at CPI, inflation, interest rate, PPI, GDP growth, it's still giving me a neutral reading to a bullish reading. So in this case, I am watching closely Nasdaq and S&P 500. So if we push to the upside, leaving this gap here, I'll want something to hold to the upside as well. I will look for a trade above this support here. So it will be a breakout of this 4-hour time frame. I'll look for a trade to go to the upside on Nasdaq only if the fundamental spreadsheet has already updated and given me a bullish reading. I think it's the same thing as S&P 500. Looking for a trade up, above, hold this support, and go to the upside as well. So that's what I'm looking for, and I think I'm a bit confident with what Powell said during the FOMC. He's very optimistic to the upside of the stock market. So I'm starting to be bullish for the stock market. I just want to believe that the correction is over. We are about to start to push to the upside again. But the good thing, guys, few weeks back, just go watch a video I spoke about why I spoke about Bitcoin while I'm still at Bitcoin. And do not forget to like and subscribe in that video and share. And also, just leave your comment and tell me what you think about the video that I did about Bitcoin, where I entered the trade to short looking at 80,000 mark. This is where my target was. It hit, now it's starting to retrace. Already, I have a bullish reading on Bitcoin, and I do like Bitcoin to the upside now. I am ready to go long to Bitcoin to the upside. So what am I I'm looking for a break above. So this support is already holding, but I am not gonna look to enter immediately here. I am still gonna look for a trade above, hold the support, and to the upside. So I think I still wanna see this trade I still want to see this breakout and support holding, and I'll enter my stop loss will just be below here. The reason why I'm looking for that is this also gives me a bit of confirmation this high here. Already we've been on an uptrend. It looks like we have a trend line liquidity forming here. We have a trend line liquidity forming here, and and already we are on an uptrend. But if we get a decisive break above this high, I am going to look for a break and a retest, as I said, to the upside. This will make sense to me, and my stop loss will just be below there. So this is the idea that I have for Bitcoin. I think I will be bullish for Bitcoin for this quarter for the next 3 months. So I'm looking for longs on Bitcoin for the next 3 to 6 months. So this is what I'm looking for Bitcoin. Already, I have a bullish reading. I am just gonna be closely watching this area there. This break to the upside. If it gives a decisive and leaves a fair value gap in between, I am gonna go long on Bitcoin. And another one that I'm looking for a trade is AUDCAD. AUDCAD has already given me a bearish reading. And while speaking about AUDCAD, let's look at the week ahead in terms of fundamentals and what data are coming out next week. Uh, One of the few data that is coming out this week, not next week, because today it's a Monday morning. I'm recording 1 a.m. One of them is the European PMI, GDP PMI is coming out, which I should be watching this closely to see the inflation. This is an indication of inflation in Europe and yeah, in Europe in general, and the British pound, how strong it is against the dollar. I still believe the British pound will continue being bullish against the dollar. And the interesting one that I like here, it's AUDCPI, which is at 2.5. There's no forecast yet, but I like that if it's at 2.5, that remember most Reserve Bank are targeting a 2.5. I mean, are targeting a 2%. If it's at 2.5, the Australian dollar, it's stable. Let me say the Australian dollar inflation, it's very stable. While CPI also on Wednesday for the British pound, they're forecasting a 2.9%. So this is where I'm looking very closely because I also want to look at a trade for GBPUSD. If CPI is kept at 2.9 or we get slightly 3%, if we get 2.9 or 3% here, I will definitely be more lying bullish for the British pound because now, if you compare the interest rate for the two, the US dollar will be, I mean, CPI for the two, the US dollar will be at, is it 2.8? And if this hold the 2.9 or 3%, the investors they're getting good returns on the British pound in terms of return on investment on lending out money. That's the basic thing that I can explain it. I hope I make sense. So, and that keeps the interest rate. It's either it keeps the interest rate at 4.5, if I'm not mistaken. The British pound interest rate is at 4.5. Also, the US is 4.5. But if we keep 2.9 interest rate CPI here, or it comes back as the previous one, which is 3%, the British pound is likely to get one or two as well. But if it keeps on at 3% and it keeps and start going back up again, we are likely to get interest rate increases in the British pound. Hence, I'm still bullish for the GBP USD pair. I hope I make sense. I know I went for a rant here. Another important data on the 27th, which is Thursday, we have final GDP that is coming out. We're expecting a 2.4% growth. That's what's forecasted. So 2.4% growth this first quarter. It's not bad. In fact, it's good. If we were to look at the South African GDP growth, it's embarrassing. So 2.4 is quite good in the US. And already we knew that this first quarter, the US economy was robust. It was doing extremely well. Unemployment rate very stable. Um, so we've been getting good numbers. And then on Friday, we have GDP retail sales, which my concern now, if you were to look at the retail sale, there is definitely an indication that CPI has been affecting the British. If you look at now, the retail sales has decreased to a minus 0.3. So instead of a growth, they recorded a decline. Not this is not actual numbers, but this is what's forecasted. So if the forecast come out exactly the same for the GDP retail sales, um, basically there's no growth in the British pound, and that could be possible because of CPI 3%, which is slightly high. Slightly high. That will indicate that maybe perhaps now we're starting to see a slowdown in the economy. But already CPI will have been reported already. Now it will be telling us where we're going next. Um, Also, PCE index, that's what the Feds are looking for when they record, when they determine, anyway, the direction of the direction of interest rate going forward. I think I've spoken about this week fundamentals and the ideas that I have with the fundamentals going forward. And on the technical side of things, I spoke about AUD. Remember, I spoke about AUDK, that AUD CPI, it's stable. The inflation, it's very stable, and is directly linked to a dollar. However, against the Canadian dollar, the Canadian dollar seems to be giving us a bullish reading in this instance. So in this case, we saw a very good move to the downside, leaving this daily fair value gap. I am looking for a retest to that area to hold and push to the upside. So once we get a daily time frame tapping in this area, I am gonna move to 4 hours to just get my daily and the 4 hour time frame to align. Then I'm gonna look for shorts. So the pair that I'm looking for, that I'm really interested in, it's AUDCAD. I'm looking for shorts on AUDCAD. Come on. What's up? I need to buy this tab here. Anyway, I'm looking for shorts for AUDCAD on the retest to this area and allowing my daily time frame and the 4 hour time frame to align. And another pair that I will be looking for shorts is USDCHF. USDCHF, where is this? Where is this body? Here we go. USDCHF, I'm looking for short, but I do not like, honestly, I do not like the technicals. I'll rather wait for a break below that. Perhaps in the retest there, maybe it will make sense to me. I do not like the technicals in this area. I'll rather wait for a break below this low, and if that holds, look to the downside. So technically, I do not like USDCHF, so I'm gonna stay outside. Also, USDK is giving a bearish reading, but I'm not a fan of that. And I'm gonna look at GBPAUD, GBPUSD, Euro USD. So basically, European economy is doing quite well against the dollar. Already just given me a bullish reading in most of them, and one of them that I have a trade on is GBPAUD. Um, I think I spoke about this during Wednesday live session. Remember, I always trade the PM session. So always trade the PM session. Go to Wednesday live, where we're trading live. Just before FOMC, I spoke about how I want to take this trade. Just a brief. Anyway, just go watch that video. So anyway, just a brief. It's the support was holding. The support was holding. Why not? Then I entered longs. So I do have a long here, and I'm holding it. And we broke above, we left this fair value gap, even though I was waiting for a trade to hold below before I move my stop loss. But I realized that it has a tendency of also pushing back to the downside, and it might take us out. So I decided to just move my stop loss just slightly above slightly above break even point, which is a break even already. So this trade is on break even. I'm willing to hold this trade on break even. And then the partner GBPNZD, I was looking for an entry this low. I haven't gotten an entry. So I will be watching it to see the reaction as it comes back to the support. And then this guy here, my favorite GBPAUD, I mean GBPUSD, I spoke about it. Uh, if like now, I just spoke about it, that the British pound is doing quite well against the dollar. CPI is quite high in terms of the economy as well, even though the US economy is robust, but the US inflation, I mean the British inflation is quite high. That favors the pair. Um, so therefore, I am bullish on GPB. And I did say that I'm still gonna look for a more pullback to this, to hold this support or to slightly hold this trend line and look to go up. So I'm still watching closely until we tap in this fair value gap. I am not gonna look for any trade. Once we get to that fair value gap, I am going to look for a trade to the upside. So I think these are the only pairs and these are the only thing that I'm holding. And also remember, just to emphasize for the next minute before I end this live, before I end this recording, um, Bitcoin. I am definitely looking for longs on Bitcoin. And I did explain how I'm looking for longs on Bitcoin. And the last one that I'll speak about is Capitic. This is a big week for our Capitic trade that we have running. Okay, open Capitic. So this is a very important week for Capitic. I'm up 3%, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. I'm up 3% on this trade. I don't know if I should mention the broker though. Should I? I'm up about, this is 6%. Oh, interesting. I'm up 6%. So that's a very good trade. The reason why I wanted to speak about Capitec. This week we have Capitec's earnings. And I did say the reason why I took Capitec was I knew that this week we will have earnings and the projection for the earning. I think they're projecting a growth of about 16%, if I'm not mistaken. I bet to be corrected. I didn't just check the update now. So Capitec there is it's a very important week this week. Let's not forget that there is earnings on the 25th or 26th now of this September. So we have Capitec's earning. Let's see. Yep, it's the 25th. No, it's the 26th. So Wednesday we have Capitec earnings, and already I'm up about 6%. So I am waiting for it. So if earnings come out more than what's expected, and I'm thinking it will beat expectation, because Capitec Bank has been a very good. It's been very good. It's been outperforming most banks in South Africa. So I'm looking. So I'm anticipating that it will beat expectation. Once it beat expectation, I am looking for a break above and hold to continue to the upside. So if we break above this resistant area here, I am gonna firstly I have my sell limit just below here, just to sell all the stocks I have. Because remember, I use the margin account, so you rather play it safe when you use a margin account. You don't wanna be holding unnecessary trade. So I will move my stop loss just to below here. If it holds, I am gonna. If it let me reiterate what I'm trying to say. If earnings beat expectations, Capitec will break above this resistance, hold above. On a retest, I will buy more Capitec shares. However, the first more shares that I bought, I will have a sell order here, just below the support, but adding more positions on it to the upside again. I am gonna continue adding on Capitec because I believe in Capitec. There is a growth for the next 2 years about 27%. I'll just confirm that later and speak about it on a separate video. But I still believe if Capitec holds that in the next quarter, we are likely to get something like that, a break and a continuation to the upside. And this will be important because already the Reserve Bank has kept interest rate exactly at 11% prime rate. So, and also we are directly linked to the USA. Just look, the Reserve Bank love looking at the US and determine our interest rate policies. So we are likely also to get a decrease in interest rate once this year. This is my prediction. I don't know. We are likely to get maybe one decrease interest rate. So if they keep it exactly the same and we get one decrease, so that's when we are likely to hold Capitec, hold the support. We break above, hold this all-time high, and to continue to the upside. So for Capitec, these are the major areas. So these are the major areas for Capitec, and I'm gonna be looking into adding more positions, and I'm using a margin account. So I am playing close as much as I am adding position there. I'm adding position there. my stop loss will be at that low. If we break above and hold above, I'll move all these positions that are added within this range to that low. So this is my game plan for Capitec. But anyway, guys, so thank you so much. I was just doing a quick preview of my game plan on Capitec. So and the weekly forecast coming in, and Capitec is part of those stocks that I'm holding that I really love. I can't say I over leverage, but I have a lot of position on it. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me. And please do not forget to like and subscribe in our videos. And please share and also join our TikTok account if you want us to join the team that we speak about the financial market, either forex, stock market. Please click the link in the bio to go to go our Telegram group, and that's where we'll be discussing a lot of things. But anyway, thank you so much, guys. Have a great day. Love you. Peace.